Well, Jesse Smollett will have his day in court again, and he's going to do so in the highest court in the state of Illinois, the Supreme Court of Illinois. They have decided to hear the 41-year-old actor's appeal. Smollett will be appealing the conviction that came back in 2021 when a jury found that the former star of Empire was guilty of lying to police officers about being the victim of a hate crime on the streets of Chicago. They found him guilty of disorderly conduct. Now, in May of 2022, he found out that he was sentenced to 150 days in jail, which resulted in this courtroom outburst.
I am not suicidal.
Stop laughing about black.
I am not suicidal, and I am innocent. I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.
Yeah, hard to forget that one. Now, Smollett would only serve a whopping 6 days of his 150-day sentence before he was released pending his appeal, which initially hit a snag. A three-judge panel in an Illinois appeals court upheld the conviction, finding that the jury in Smollett's case was justified in their verdict. However, Smollett's argument here isn't so much his innocence, as you saw him defiantly declaring in court back in 2022. No, he claims that he had to deal with prosecutors who were originally handling the case and even performed community service as part of it. So no matter what you think about Jesse Smollett and the staging of a hate crime in which he was claimed he was attacked by men yelling, "This is MAGA country," while beating him and using racial and homophobic slurs, that is not the issue here. That will not be at play in front of the Illinois Supreme Court. Rather, it is whether a deal is reached in honor between Jesse Smollett and prosecutors, if that's acceptable. Back with me, Bernardo of Theona, Misty Marris, Brian Entin. Bernardo, I'll start with you. Should we take anything from the fact that the court has agreed to hear this, that they are sympathetic to that argument?
No, not at all. They're going to entertain the argument, but it's not saying that they're going to rule in his favor at all. In terms of a prosecutor making an offer to a defendant, whatever deal that they engage in, hey, that's simple for the purview of the prosecutor and defense attorneys. Courts are not going to get involved in that. So I think it's going to remain his sentence, and Jesse's going to have to do his time.
Okay, well, let's talk about that deal for a second. This was Special Prosecutor Dan Webb took over the case. It's like a myriad of back and forth with everything going on with this thing. But he was very critical of that deal. This is number two.
Judge Tooman, when he appointed me, said the reason he was appointing me was to restore the public's confidence in the judicial system. He said that because at that point it appeared like we had two different systems of justice, one for the ordinary person and the other for more privileged people like Mr. Smollett.
Yeah, now we remember that he had charges. They were dropped. They were refiled. Look, I keep thinking, every time I'm thinking a government entered into a deal with a defendant, I'm thinking Cosby, right? I'm thinking, is this possible? What do you think?
It's not impossible. So what happened here is the special prosecutor was brought in to see if there was an abuse of discretion and investigate that and further investigate the case. So it's all going to come down to what did that agreement say between the original district attorney, and was that a non-prosecution agreement? Now, the appellate court has already said no. It's going to be reviewed by now the highest level court. So this issue has actually failed before. But to your point, Jesse, the highest court is going to take a look at it. So whether or not that constitutes a non-prosecution agreement is the critical legal issue in the case.
And putting the legal to the side, the big picture of this, Brian, you cover crimes all the time, all across the country. The thing that really is so disappointing about this, and the reason that people are angry about this, and why he was ultimately prosecuted, you have real victims out there.
Yeah.
You have real people who are attacked, real people who are kidnapped. It took away from law enforcement. It took away from those victims. Your perspective on when you heard about this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm listening to you guys make the legal arguments, which I get, but just as a regular guy, I remember being so mad during all of that, because it was so infuriating when you thought that it was true for a while. Oh my gosh, he was attacked, racial, homophobia, gosh, all the issues in Chicago, this is just terrible. Everyone was so fired up about it and upset. And then, like you said, the fact that this massive investigation went into finding those people when we all thought it may have been a true story. Like, I'm not over it yet. Like, I have no sympathy for Jesse.
Why did he do
Smollett.
it? Do we even know why he did it?
Who knows? I mean, look at his outburst in court. I mean, you can't make sense of this guy.
He wasn't being truthful in court? You didn't believe it?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, Jesse. He still says that he still stands by that it happened. So he's not really expressed any contrition.
Which brings me to the next point. I'll ask you, Bernardo. This is the point. If this conviction stands, is he going to jail?
Well, yeah, the sentence is going to be upheld. So he is going to go to jail. The amount of time, I believe, what it was, the 150 days, is not going to be the total 150 days because it's going to be much less. But yeah, it's his time. That's it. The buck stops there. There's no other review. It's over. The Supreme Court is not going to save you.
Wouldn't it have been better, though, if he just already went to jail and served, what, like 90 days, came out? Maybe he could have restored his career.
His career would never come back.
Exactly.
But I mean, just do the 90 days and
But what he's trying to hope for is that his rehabilitation that he did in some treatment program, that will suffice. That's what he wants. It's not going to happen.
If he would have come out and listened,
and apologized.
if he would have came out, apologized, accepted, said, I had a mental health crisis. I am sorry. We would have a totally different conversation. It's the fact that he keeps fighting it is why it's not helping him both from a PR perspective and a legal perspective. Could talk about Jesse Smollett all day, but we have a lot more to talk about, so everybody stick around.